So it's a 1968 Plymouth Sport Fury fast top.
What makes it a Sport Fury?
So the Sport Fury it's just an upper trim level. There was a bunch of different trim levels, and at the top was the VIP, which would be like the luxury, equivalent to like a New Yorker Brougham in the Chrysler world or whatever. That was top of the line. And right below that was the Sport Fury, and then below that you had Fury 3, Fury 2, and Fury 1. So the further you went down, the less you got. So it's almost at the top, but like, Sport Fury stuff specific, you get the vinyl side stripe down it, and you get the special badging, the red, white, and blue emblems for Sport Fury, and all that little gimmicky stuff that they did in the late 60s to advertise and bring sales and everything.
But there wasn't anything mechanically.
This car has the 383 Super Commando, and you could get anything in a Fury pretty much from like a 225 slant 6 all the way up to the 440, and I believe that was available in every trim level. So realistically, mechanically, you could get anything you wanted in any trim level. So it's not like a special Sport Fury engine or anything like that. You could get them all the way through all the trim levels.
So it was very a la carte.
Yeah, absolutely. Every car, any car you wanted, it was built to you. If you wanted to check it off on the box, you could get it.
The first question I have for you is, you told me you were 25.
Yeah.
What is the appeal of older? Because I know this is not your first old classic car.
No, it's not.
Why not the regular 25-year-old stuff? Like, why not the Hondas? Why not the VWs? Why this?
I have no idea. So I spent a lot of time with my grandparents growing up, and I think that has a lot to do with why I'm the way I am. I always say I'm 25, but mentally I'm like 80. So, I grew up with my pap having a 56 Chevy, and he bought that as a, retirement thing for himself. He worked for Fisher Body for a long time, and he graduated in 56. So I spent a lot of time with that car, going to car shows and everything, and I just enjoy the old school stuff, carburetors and big blocks and all that. So I have a lot of friends that have Hondas and Subarus and Volkswagens and everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not for me. I like the old stuff. I'll take a big old boat any day of the week over something small.
When you tell people you have a coupe, they're like, oh, they're thinking little baby car.
Yeah, little tiny coupe. No, it's like 18 and a half feet long and weighs 4,200 pounds, and it's not very coupe-like. They're the same size as a sedan. Just you knock 2 doors off, change the roof line, and you got a coupe. So it's still a big car.
How did you find it?
So I found it on Marketplace, which is where I found almost all of my cars over the last 10 years. It was in Baltimore, Maryland. Really nice guy named Jim sold it to me. I actually worked on this deal on this car for about a year. From the time I found this car to the time that I bought it, I had gone through 2 cars. It was redone already. This is one of the few that I haven't done very much to. All I did was change the wheels and put these appliance steel spokes on. So everybody has Kragers and whatever. There's nothing wrong with Kragers, but appliances are just a little bit different, and they're a harder wheel to find. They're not as common, and they don't reproduce them. So you can buy new Kragers, but you can't buy new appliances. You'll notice that the holes in the wheels are smaller than they would be on a Krager. A Krager would come further down in. These kind of have more of just a rectangle opening. They just look great on this car. I mean, I couldn't have picked a better, or found, or even imagined a better wheel to put on here. The car was redone in '95, and this is still the same paintwork and everything that was done way back when. The car was stolen in '94, and when it was recovered, that's when it was redone. This one just kind of checked all my boxes, and that's how I ended up with this one.
So were you looking for this car specifically, or did you just have sort of a wide net cast and looking, this kind of looking thing?
I like everything. Yeah. So everything from like, a 32 Ford 5 window to like an 80s Fleetwood Brougham. I'm in no way, shape, or form loyal to any certain brand or body style, decade. If it's the right car and it checks all my boxes, that's the one I have to have. But I am partial to C bodies. I had a 72 Newport, I had a 74 New Yorker, and now I have this 68 Sport Fury.
What about this has surprised you that you didn't know about them before you got it?
The engine is a big one. People rant and rave about 383s. I've never had a 383 until this one. I had a 400 in the Newport and a 440 in the New Yorker. This 383, I understand why people are crazy about the 383. It's got the torque and the power of a big block, but it revs like a small block. When this one's getting up in power, a 440 is ready to come unglued. It's a really solid, just tight motor. I mean, smooth, great power delivery. So the engine was really something that surprised me about this car. Handling, C-bodies generally handle better than your typical, like an equivalent GM product of the late 60s or Ford. Used to have torsion bar front suspensions. So they kind of hold up in the corners a little better. And this one's no exception. I mean, it drives out great. It handles really nice. No significant body roll. It's just a surprisingly good driving car.
What about it, if anything, do you dislike?
For how nice the car looks, I'm kind of disappointed in the dash. I think it's a very lackluster dash. And when that's what you're looking at all the time, compared to the other, you know, Mopar products of the time period, I think it's kind of lackluster. You know, other than that, I really don't have anything that stands out to me that I don't care for. It's just, you know, me being picky. So basically this generation of Mopar, the little Pentastar on the passenger side, you won't find one on the driver's side. It was a passenger side only thing, and that went across almost all their models. But the silver Pentastar was a basic warranty, and if you had a gold Pentastar, that meant that you got an upgraded warranty. And the reason that it was put on the passenger side only was so when you were walking down the sidewalk on the passenger side of the car, it's kind of something that grabbed your eye. And that was the whole reason why it's only on the passenger side of the car. So 65 to 68 C-body was the only years that you could get a 4-speed in one of these. And the only telltale way to know if your C-body was a factory 4-speed car was with these two braces underneath the hood here on the firewall. If your car did not have those braces, then you did not have a factory 4-speed. The hearse doesn't have a reverse lockout. The inland shifters do. So you pull up, and when you put it in reverse, it shows the reverse light. That was an option. And the running lights are actually hidden in the grille. You wouldn't see them until I turn those on, but they are there. The orange one's on the front, red one's on the back, and the hidden one's in the grille. The stainless and trim and everything on this is original to the car. Even the vinyl top is original. The vinyl top's never been replaced.
Wow, it's perfect.
It is absolutely perfect. The seams are perfect. There's not a single bubble underneath it. You know, they usually rust out around the back window and stuff. There is no imperfections in that vinyl top.
So would you ever part with it?
I think this is my 27th or 28th car in, 10 years. I know I'm going to have friends that are going to watch this and say, oh, dude, as soon as you come back from Carlisle, it'll be online for sale. I've heard that since I brought it home. This is one of 799 built with a 4-speed. It's something that I'd like to keep for a while, and with it being a 4-speed, it's going to be a tough one to let go.